Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Your Success DNA show from YourSuccessAtLast.com. That motivational oomph that you're going to need every single day, bringing you those core inspirational building blocks that are going to help you get what you need to get done. Whew, Thursday, man, week's almost over. I bet you've gotten a lot accomplished this week, haven't you? Yeah, well, okay, maybe you don't feel like you've gotten a lot accomplished, but if you think about it and go back over the things you've done this week, maybe there's a whole bunch of little things that you've gotten done, right? I mean, you turned in that report, took your kid to the doctor because she wasn't feeling well, helped that nice lady with her bags on her way from her car into her home. I mean, life isn't always about making those $1 million deals every single day. It's about the journey towards it, right? All the things that you learn and do along the way towards your goals. You have goals, right? Because you know, if you've listened to more than 2 episodes of Your Success DNA, you know how much I stress that. They change the way and the action they change the action that you take, and they help you take action. They change the very decision-making process because now you have that stake in the ground to help you guide your decisions and also guide what change in direction that you need to make in every area of your life. And that happens to be today's question, right? What do you want or need to change? Every day I try to pop you with these questions just to kind of get those mind juices flowing. And I know a number of folks listen to me in the morning, so it's a great way to kick their head off in the morning while they're drinking their favorite morning beverage, probably a nice cup of coffee, get your juices flowing. But the idea is, take these questions and ponder them a little bit, whether it's in the morning or on your drive to work or when you're munching on lunch, or got that down moment somewhere along the day, or as I always say, right before you lay your head down on the pillow and close your eyes. Ask yourself today's question, which is what do you want or need to change? What changes do you or can help you stand out from the crowd? That's today's topic, is how to stand out from the crowd, whether it's in the boardroom, the cubicle, in the dating scene, or just at home with those that you love. No matter which one of those places you're wanting to stand out in this overcrowded, hyperactive world. And when I say that, it's not just overcrowded from the people scene. It's overcrowded from the things vying from those other people's attention. Their attention, their time, their love, their money, their action. The only way you're ever going to break through all that noise, be it in business or charity or relationships or love or whatever, is to break through the noise. All right, and we're going to give you some ideas on how to do that. Now, it used to be as simple as being able to say, hey, I'm the greatest there is. I'm the best man for the job. I have the lowest price. Well, the day of just telling someone I'm the greatest there is out there, hey, look at all the great things that me or my product or my service or my love can do for you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, those are done. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. We've all heard those pitches. We still hear them day in and day out on TV, at the bars, in the clubs, heck, even in the conference room, or for some of us, for some out there, I can't say us because it's not me anymore, in the living room, or worse yet, in the bedroom when it comes to relationships. So I want to spend a little time today to share some self-motivations and some influence tactics that you can weave into who you are to make you stand out from the crowd. And I say weave into who you are because if they're done purely for the attention, yeah, I'll be honest, they'll work. And soon the perpetrator will be seen through, and soon the facade will be peeled away, and the true intentions will be spotted. However, when people integrate these in and as a part of who they are, who they truly are, then they have a power to motivate, influence, inspire, and impact not just the people that are using them, but those around them as well. So, now, before I get into the 6 ideas I came up with to help you stand out, let me share a couple ideas on the topic. As I'm thinking about it right now, I could even probably have given this a subtitle of 10 ideas to help you stand out from the crowd, because these four little concepts here can certainly be ideas unto themselves. But I'm not going to change the title now. I'm just going to share the information with you. How about that? First off, do different things. It's easy to stand out from the crowd when you're doing something and no one else is doing. Remember when hip hop first hit the scene, everyone was enthralled by it because no one else was doing it. Now it's everywhere. Now it's all about what new dance move inside that scene there is. So we've all seen this time and time again, whether it's, in dance or in advertising or products or relationships. Those doing the different things stick inside our heads better. Okay, then do things differently. So first there's do different things, then do things differently. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where you show your understanding of the how versus the what. This is where you take something common and give it a little extra giggle, a little extra laugh, throw some spice on it, add some elegance to it, or that extra touch of class depending on the situation. All right. Next is stir emotions, and you can add to this spread happiness. If you want people or that special someone to keep coming back to you for your product, your advice, your friendship, or your love, well, then learn about them. Stir their heart, their soul, and spread some happiness to and through them. Again, this is where you need to integrate and not be fake, all right? And then lastly, be consistent. While doing any of these ideas I just mentioned, and the ones I'm going to mention once, can have a quick impact. If you really want to stand head and shoulders above the crowd in business, in love, in family, or whatever, develop your style and who you are to the point where people can count on it, and we'll talk about it. All right? So now, the 6 ideas. They are, I'm going to give you a quick one, all right? Attitude, engagement, communication, contribution, creative thinking, and results. So let's chat a little bit quickly about each one of these. Attitude. And I love this one. Be enthusiastic. Be positive. Be engaging. Be passionate. An upbeat, professional attitude stands out no matter what is going on. People will remember. And I'm not just saying always be Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. Sometimes it's about being engaging. Sometimes it's about being Mr. Problem Solver. Whoever you naturally are, be that, okay? It's important to show that you can stay confident, or can stay upbeat, or can stay passionate, or can stay engaging, or can stay problem solving. Whatever it is, people generally enjoy working with other people who are pleasant, encouraging, constructive, and that consistency I mentioned earlier. All right, and try and avoid some of the complaining and being negative and being rude and being destructive. I think is the biggest one. We all have those days when you just got to gripe. You got to get it out. You got to let it vent. But then get right back into your good enthusiastic mode. All right. Next is engagement. Be friendly. Let your personality show through, and then be approachable. All right. I get this one every once in a while where I can get into a mode where I don't appear to be approachable. I am, but on the outside, my face and my mannerisms can get a little gruff, all right? So be approachable. Build relationships and trust. Engage others and show a genuine interest in their lives and their thoughts and their hobbies and what's going on, okay? I've mentioned this in the past. Find a mentor to help you get to know people. Find a group or organization, a hobby organization, to help you meet other people, all right? See, a knowledgeable, connected mentor can be a huge resource to help you build relationships and connect you with others around you in areas that you enjoy. And they can help you spot some things you may be missing about your attitude, your engagement, and any of the other ideas I'm sharing with you here today. All right? Communication. You might think that these tip-top communication skills are a given. Well, you're mistaken. Actually, I think most of the folks listening to this realize that communication is a skill, and it's a skill you need to develop and hone. There are many very competent people out there that lack effective professional communication skills, or heck, just effective communication skills. So pay a careful attention to how you express yourself, not only in formal written communications, but in emails and on the phone and in face-to-face conversations, and even those times when you're just listening, maybe in a group. Your body language is still communicating. So you may be hearing a message that you dislike. I guarantee you could be over-communicating that dislike. So be careful, all right? Be confident, respectful, and clear in all your communications. Learn to be a good listener. I've said this a number of times. We've heard this saying, right? You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that same ratio. Give your full attention. Maintain eye contact, right? Try to really understand and absorb what they're saying. Listen for understanding. Don't listen to reply, all right? An attentive, respectful listener, ladies and gentlemen, is a rare commodity. And those that are sharing with you when you're being that attentive, respectful listener will remember. So develop these stellar communication habits, will go a long way towards differentiating yourself. Contribution. I think in this area here, dedication and involvement are the pieces that stand out. When it comes to work, be prepared. Heck, be more prepared than everyone else on the team is. Do your homework. You're going to hear me say this a lot. When you get to learn the other folks or the business, right? Do your homework. You gather your resources and you show up prepared and ready to work. That makes you stand out. If you're actively engaged in all the work processes and you're making significant contributions to the team, that is going to get you remembered. It will be noticed. You might also want to volunteer to contribute beyond just your day-to-day duties. Offer to take part in, a project you hear coming down the line, or maybe your company's doing a charity event. Anything that's going on in the communities. When it comes to home relationships, perhaps your significant other says, you know what, this weekend we need to do this around the house. Well, when that day arrives, come prepared, put on your work clothes and have that shovel or mop or broom in hand and say, I'm ready to go. These little things are going to go a long way to make you stand out and stand above the crowd. And I don't want any of these ideas to be taken in just one context. Take it in the context that you're working on right now. If you're working on wanting to stand out at work, then take it in that context. If you have a significant other you're trying to woo or win back, or you're going out after them, take it in that context. Whatever context you need it for, okay? Last two, creative thinking. I'm going to try a little bit of a different spin on this when it comes to thinking creatively. When it comes to any kind of environment, don't be afraid to express your creativity and look for new, cool, even innovative solutions. In the workplace, a lot of times, sometimes it's just as simple as asking intelligent and useful questions. Ask questions that no one else is asking. Perhaps even ask the question everyone else is afraid to ask. Address the pink elephant in the room, as the old saying goes. It's often not the answers that you provide that make an impression, but your ability to ask insightful questions. This comes back to learning the business or learning about the person you're engaged with. And that comes back to, you're going to have to get the good communication and have that good engagement in order to be able to ask those questions, okay? Not only will you demonstrate that you can, quote unquote, think outside the box, but you can also use your creative skills in a way that benefits you, the entire team, the whole family, the whole organization, whatever situation you happen to be in. Results, all right? Results speak, and they speak loudly. This comes back to the old adage that people pay more attention to what you do or what you have gotten accomplished than what you say. You can say all the wonderful, outstanding, love-stricken things in the world, but if you don't do a dang thing, guess what? You're not getting the results, and people aren't going to pay attention to you after a while. So, what you do... Let me ask the question of what it is that you do exceptionally well. All right. What can you learn to do even better? And I would say to pivot off of what you do well already first, And then if there's a couple of things that you do okay, how can you do them better? But the ones that you do well already are the ones you're going to make the big strides on. Strive to be the go-to person, whatever that skill is, and whenever that skill is needed. Your skill expertise, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't have to be odd or complicated. Actually, if you think about it, it's really better if it's simple and required a lot. All right, it's one of those often required skills that you can do better than others. Don't hesitate to toot your own horn and let them know that you're able to do that better and faster or just as well as someone else. There's nothing wrong with letting people know when you've achieved something significant. However, let's be careful that we don't get annoying about it. Hey, I'm the you know what I'm saying, okay? Achievement stands out and helps drive that attention you're looking for, be it in the workplace, in the home, in the organization, or wherever. See, at the end of the day, right, you give your best, you perform well, and you hope it gets you noticed. But while good performance in itself is important and critical to advancing your career or your relationship or your business, unfortunately, it's not always enough. There's so many other people, that they're out there doing great work as well. You do, and you have to do, and you have to be something more these days to stand out from the crowd. If you're trying to get that lady or that man's attention, if you're trying to get that business prospect's attention, you're trying to get your significant other's attention and keep them close to you, all right? If you're trying to get your boss's attention, how do you make sure people remember you, all right? How do you make a solid, lasting impression? What makes you different, and how can you stand out from the rest? Well, these ideas can help you do all of that. It's not a massive difference. You don't need massive differences. Those are not required, but a noticeable one is. Often, the simplest differentiation can be the key to establishing your brilliance. And we all want to be brilliant. And you are brilliant in many ways, all right? You can sit down and think about the one or two ways you are just different than everyone else around you, and let's hone in on that. The key is to decide what's different about you and then learn to capitalize it. Pay attention to what you do best, what you bring to the table, what, ladies and gentlemen, is special about you. Be memorable, or be unique, be remarkable, and be talented, be professional, be reliable, be creative, and be interesting. I'm stumbling over my words here, right? Let what's different about you be visible. Work on cultivating that specialness inside you, and you will get noticed. All right? There you have it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about players versus pretenders. I scratched on this just a little bit about, integrating these things into who you are, so you're not a player, so you can be a player versus a pretender. With that, I'm going to leave you like I always do. Think successfully. Take action. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.